Hi, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to show you how you can make this lovely little doll jumper. It's based on my pattern, the Filou jumper, which is available on Etsy and Ravelry, and it's got this nice little ruffle and a lovely little tie at the back. That's what we're going to be making today, so enjoy this video and let's get started. Alright, so first of all let me show you what you're going to need for this project. So you're going to need some DK yarn. I just picked some DK yarn from my stash. This is Super Soft by Zeeman. If you don't have access to this particular yarn, any DK yarn will do, but you could always look up a good substitution on Yarn Sub. You also need a 4mm hook, a pair of scissors, and a yarn needle. So to start off, you're going to make a chain of 35. So this is your starting chain, and then the first row is just going to be single crochet. So you're going to, and that's in US terms, so UK double crochet. You're going to just do 34 single crochet. So start in the second chain from the hook. And single crochet all the way across. I'll meet you back at the end. So this is my row of single crochets. I've just done my last one here in the last chain. Then I'm going to chain 2 and I'm going to turn. Now I'm ready to start row 2. Row 2 is going to be double crochets or trebles in UK terms, and I'm going to do 4 of them. So that's number 4, and now I'm going to increase. So I've got 4 double crochets, and now in the fifth stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So you can see there's 1, 1, 1, 1, and there's 2 in this stitch. Then I'm going to do 4 double crochets again. And then I'm going to increase again, so 2 double crochets in the next stitch. I'm going to repeat this all the way across, and then I will show you what to do at the end. So now I've just done my last increase, and then as you can see there are 4 stitches left on this row, and I'm just going to do double crochets, and from here on out every row of increases I'm going to finish with 4 double crochets. So that was row 2. Now I'm going to chain 2 again and turn, and this next row is going to be double crochets and no increases. Just do double crochets throughout row number 3. And I'll meet you back at the end. So I'm at the end of row 3, and I'm going to chain 2 again and turn. Now for row 4 we're going to do double crochets. We're going to do 5 double crochets and then an increase. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, followed by 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and an increase, and we're going to do that all of row 4. So 5 double crochets and an increase. So I've just done my last increase again, and same as on the second row, there should now be 4 stitches left. So just do 4 double crochets in those. Chain 2 and turn. So this is an uneven row, row 5, and every uneven row is just going to be double crochets. Only this time we're going to do the double crochet in the back loop only. So go into the back loop, double crochet, go into the back loop, double crochet, all of round 5. Only in the back loops, and you will start to see kind of a little ridge here, and that's what we're aiming for. So do that throughout row 5, and I'll see you when we get to the end. So now we've just finished row number 5, and this ridge is going to be the base for our ruffle once we finish the body. And what we're going to do now is we're going to close the round. Normally for the child size I would do this before the ruffle row, but as the doll's head is just so big, we're doing it after. So you're just going to slip stitch into the top of the double crochet, the first double crochet of the row, and then chain 2, and now we are ready to start our next round now, which is round 6. Now this first, well, it kind of looks like a chain, is actually not the first stitch, so we're going to skip that because we're only going to go into the double crochets of the previous row. So we're going to start in this one, and we're going to do 6 double crochets, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to increase. So each round or row of increases, you get 1 more double crochet before the increases. Continue on throughout the round, and then I'll show you what to do here. I've just done my last double crochet of this round. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet, chain 2 and turn, and now we are going to create the shape of the jumper. We're going to join the sleeves, so we're going to do that by working a number of double crochets, then skipping a number of stitches, working double crochets, skipping stitches, and working double crochets again. So let me show you. First we're going to do 8 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then chain 2, then we're going to skip 10 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to work into the next stitch, and we're going to do 16 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 15 and 16, then again chain 2, skip the next 10 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then work into this one, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there you have it. The back panel right here, the armholes, and the front panel. So we're going to leave the sleeves for now. We're going to work into them later. First we're going to finish the body. So we're going to turn And we're going to just work double crochets from here on out, so no more increases. So a round of double crochets. So when you get to the armhole or the chain 2 part, then you need to work double crochets. This is another stitch. It might look like a chain, but this is part of this double crochet. So you work into that, and then you go around the chains. So 1, and then another one for the second chain. And then you can go back into the stitches. So continue and do the same thing on the other side. Now let's close this round and then do 3 more rounds. So from the sleeves you have 4 in total. So 3 more rounds of double crochets, and then we can start working on the ruffle. Alright, so I've just finished my 11th and final round of the body, and now we're going to the fun bit. We're going to start working on the ruffles. So remember that row that we only worked into the back loop and this ridge kind of appeared? Well, that's the front loop of row 4, and we're going to work into those. So we're going to, you can kind of see that it's just a single thread, the front loop, and we're going to be working into those. So first of all, go into the very first one and attach your yarn. I always like to tie a knot just to make it nice and secure, and then I'm going to go back into that loop, pull my yarn through and chain 2. Now we can start working double crochets into the front loops. So we're going to work 3 double crochets into those front loops to get a nice ruffle effect. So only go into the front loop. Try not to pull on the loop too much because it will stretch out. Three, and then just do 3 double crochets all the way around. So I've finished my ruffle. Just work 3 double crochets into the last stitch so I can fasten off and start working on the sleeves. But just look how adorable this little ruffle looks. I just love it. Okay, so for the sleeves we're going to start in one of the armholes. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, and you're going to find the space between the 2 double crochets that you worked around the chains. So that's right here, and then I'm going to attach my yarn there, and again I'm just going to tie a knot. Then I'm going to pull my yarn through and chain 2. Then we're just going to do double crochets all the way around. And these first couple of spaces that you're going to work into aren't really stitches, so it's just kind of eyeballing it. And then you can see the first stitch right here. So you're going to work in every stitch around, and then try to work the same number of stitches into the other side from where the obvious stitches stop. So just show you. And then just count your stitches on the first side. For me it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I started working into the actual stitches. So I want to do 4 on this side as well. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you might want to count your stitches because you want to do the same number of stitches on the other sleeve that you're going to work on. So I've slip stitched into the top of that first double crochet, chained 2 and then turn, and then you're going to work double crochets into each stitch. Now remember, this first one isn't an actual stitch, it's part of the chain 2, so work into the first real double crochet. Just continue with double crochets, and I'll meet you at the end. I've finished round 2 of the sleeves, so I'm just going to slip stitch and chain 2 and then turn. Now I'm going to do 2 more rounds of double crochets on the sleeves, so just go ahead and do 2 more rounds and then I'll tell you what to do next. Now I've come to the end of my 4th round on the sleeves, and I'm going to slip stitch, and I'm only going to chain 1 this time. And I'm going to turn, and the 5th and final round is going to be single crochets or double crochets in UK terms throughout the round. So for the children's size jumper, I make the sleeve cinch in a little bit because I like that style, kind of the balloon sleeve style. I'm not doing that now for the doll because the doll's hands aren't flexible. They always stick out a bit, and it's harder to get the doll's hands through the sleeves anyway, so don't want to make that even harder by making it cinch in. So just plain single crochets throughout this round, just to give it that nice finishing touch, and then you just slip stitch into the top of your first single crochet and fasten off. Then you need to make another sleeve on the other side. And then I will show you how to do the ties on the back. So there I have my second sleeve, and I'm almost done except for all those ends that need sewing in and the ties at the back, because now we just have an open back. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach 2 ties so you can tie it into a nice bow at the back. And to do that, all we need to do is attach our yarn into that corner there, make a knot, and I'm simply going to chain until I have the desired length. There, I have made 20 chains, and now I can just make a nice little bow. I don't want them to be too long. For the children's size jumper, I go back into those chains with single crochets, but I don't want the ties to be too thick for the doll, so I'm just going to leave it like this. So cut the yarn. Now you can do one of 2 things. You can either sew this end back into the chains, or you can just cut it, make the knot really tight, and then cut it like this, and you have just a little piece of yarn there. So that's what I'm doing. And now I need to make another one on the other side, and then I need to weave in all those ends. And here we have the final result. Our finished jumper. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Till next time, bye bye.